Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, today I'm going to be going over my Eventide Petals Monk Martial Artist build. This build is also using Hollow Palm. All right, a bunch of y'all have asked me for this build. Hey, what build you running, this and that. This is the video that's going to cover all that. Now, I know there's probably several dozen other videos out there covering the Eventide Petals build and the Monk Martial Artist and, you know, all these different things. This is my take on it, okay? I didn't, I don't claim to be the guy who created this build or anything like that, but this is my take on it. It's really strong. It covers tier 15s and all that. There's definitely room for improvement, I would say, but very solid, very easy to get going, and really not that expensive, So let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, so let's get into the build and all the things that I'm using for it. So at first, let's just cover the passive tree. So the passive tree, I'm running a pretty standard hollow focus technique and hollow resonance technique. These are the ones that I took first. There's really no designated order, in my opinion. You can take away the stone fist first as your first two, and then grab hollow focus as well. That's really just totally up to you. I would definitely just take runic meridians last. They're just really kind of like that cherry on top. It doesn't really give you anything crazy, but just some extra survivability. Now, for the passive tree, we're going to stay up on the left side here. We take a lot of crit nodes. We take a lot of damage nodes. We got some mana here. We got all these crits here. Some attack. And then we do take Hollow Palm. I do fully understand and I'm fully aware that Hollow Palm is not the most ideal, right? But to me, it is the most fun. It is a fun play style, and so I always try to make it work. So that being said, I do take the Hollow Palm. I take some Staggering Palm for physical damage, daze, and stun buildup. This right here as well, we take this node, the Hollow Keeper. So in case you all didn't know, this is a hidden node on the passive tree. You have to take Principle of the Hollow, and you have to take First Teachings of the Keeper. You have to take those two before you will get the opportunity to use this. This is the 50% reduced effective curses on you, so really good in case you're running into a lot of curses and stuff like that, and you have no other way to mitigate it. This is a good way to mitigate that. All right. The other thing that I want to note is we take two survivability things, and I'll get to the equipment here in just a second, but we take Spectral Ward here. So +1 max energy shield per 12 item evasion on equipped body armor. So you can already tell this is what I use because I run a full evasion body armor. And then I also take Subterfuge Mask, so I get +1 evasion rating for each item energy shield on my equipped helmet. So I run a full energy shield helmet for that. So that pretty much covers it, y'all. There's really nothing else that is mandatory on here. I take some additional daze and damage against dazed enemies, and I do take some additional crit down here. But that is it for the passive tree. All right, now let's cover the gear. So for gear, we are running our main piece of equipment is this, the Eventide Petals vertical chain. That is what allows us to get all of our ice petals and do all of that exploding damage for each critical hit that we do. Okay, I have a standard ancestral tiara here. I'm using the Grand Regalia chest piece. I'm using the Thunder Fist of Stone. Now this changes because I use that node in the passive tree for my ascendancy, but this changes. This is also a really good skill, and this is one of the main reasons I use it, but I get Gilded Palm, so I get an additional 170, 255 added cold damage plus 50% more freeze buildup. All right, so these gloves are really good. You can honestly, interchange whatever gloves feel good to you. Experiment with it. Just figure out what you like. I'll run a solid belt here. I run a belt here that's primarily resistance based, and then my boots, nothing crazy on here, just energy shield boots. Okay, now for the rings, I am running a resistance ring for the prismatic. So I've got evasion, life, all elemental resistances on the rings. I've got some cold damage to attacks, stuff like that. And then this is one ring. This is optional, guys, but I really like to use this for this build. I convert 100% of my cold damage to lightning damage. Okay, this helps me proc my Herald of Thunder and just do additional lightning damage. And then I also got the 29% increased damage on it via the corruption. So that is it for the gear, essentially, y'all. Now let's get into the skills. Okay, for the skills here, nothing crazy. Okay, I'll key in on the main things, but we have our Hollow Focus and Hollow Resonance from our Ascendancy. We have Gilded Palm, and we'll just go down the line here. So Hollow Focus, I have Rapid Attacks, Cooldown Recovery, Overabundance, Living Lightning, Magnified Area. Hollow Resonance, I have Stun 2, Close Combat 2, Heft, Magnified Area, Cooldown Recovery 2. For Gilded Palm, this is that skill that comes on my gloves. And you only get this when you equip them when you're using that node on the Ascendancy. All right. I have Cold Exposure, Blind 2, Cold Mastery, and Elemental Armament. Midnight Zenith, this is what comes on my Eventide Petals. All right. We're running Cold Mastery. We have Rakiata's Flow, which I understand like it's an expensive support gem, but you could just replace it with whatever you think fits. We have Cold Penetration, and then we have Cold Attunement. All right, for Tempest Bell, this is primarily what I use if I'm in a boss fight, if I just need extra damage. I'm using Prolonged Duration, Ancestral Call, Heavy Swing, Biting Frost 2, Thrill of the Kill 2. Shattering Palm, this is my primary skill, my primary button skill. So we have Pinpoint Critical for more crit chance. We have supported skill. We have Rapid Attacks 2, so 25% increased attack speed. Execute 2. Boreana's Siege, and then we have Cold Mastery. All right, Staggering Palm I will use occasionally just to get that extra projectile. When you do hit somebody with it, you get that extra projectile. All right, Concentrated Area, Ricochet, Impale, and Multi-Shot. Okay, Blasphemy, this is the other critical piece of this build. Blasphemy really just smooths out the edges when you're mapping. So you're going to use the Blasphemy buff. It takes, I think, like 100 spirit to use it. But then you're going to put the skill Repulsion on it. Okay, and it's critical that you use Repulsion. Okay. So with that, you're going to have Repulsion, Living Lightning 2. I use Poison 3. You can use whatever. You don't have to use Poison 3. I was just kind of testing it out. We have Hex Bloom, and then we have Stun 3. All right, and then we have Herald of Thunder. We have Potent Exposure, Lightning Mastery, Shock, Elemental Focus, and Electromagnetism. Okay. Now, that does it for the skills, y'all. I don't think there's anything else that we need to cover, man. It's quick, straight to the point. So listen, if you guys got any questions on this build, let me know in the comments, man. I will do my best to answer them. You can always stop by in the stream. We stream on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. All same name, Weisher. TikTok is Weisher TV. So feel free to jump in there, hop in the chat, man. I love chatting with you guys and seeing what you're up to. Anyways, I'm working on another monk build. We'll see if it's successful or not, man. It's kind of a shot in the dark, but we're going to go for it. So, hey, thanks for stopping by the video, guys. Thanks for checking out the build. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.